Disclaimer: this video contains clips and scenes from other properties. I do not own these clips. This is simply just to help out with the video better. With this in mind, Copyright Act 1976. I do not own these things and all clips and scenes belong to the rightful and respectful owners. Thank you, and please enjoy the video. What's up, people on YouTube? F-Man Critic Backend. Well, 1 year ago, a very awesome person tragically passed away last year. A person who ruled England with an iron fist and was practically the best queen the world has ever had. I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth II. It's been 1 year since our beloved queen tragically passed away. So to honor her memory, I'm going to review 2 movies featuring her BFF, Paddington and Bear. Oh my god, I love the Paddington movies. They're really good. I mean, you think they're practically another, live-action cash grab that are just trying to market on a beloved children's thing and try to make it all retro and try to make it all cool with the kids. I mean, they do that a few times in the movie, I'm not gonna lie. There's a Mission Impossible reference and a few songs that, just... The point is but Paddington is actually one of those movies that are actually handled with care and more than just to promote toys to kids. It's actually a good movie and really good franchise. It's one of those properties that actually has actual care and put into it and isn't just being made just for money. It's just there to just make for kids. It's for kids. Anyway, what's the first and second movie about? Well, it's about a little bear called, he says it in bear name, but they give him an English name called Paddington, named after the station. Anyway, 40 bear years ago, a visitor from London named Montgomery Clyde made a visit to darkest Peru, where his plan was to collect a specimen, in which was Paddington's uncle and aunt, but instead of doing that, one of the bears saved his life, and they decided to become all buddies. He named the bears after people in his life, the female after his mother, and the male after an exotic boxer he met. Anyway, many bear years later, we get introduced to Paddington. It's Marmalade Day, and sadly, it's the last Marmalade Day because an earthquake happens and his uncle Pastuzo dies. And, well, Aunt Lucy thought the best way to do so would be to send Paddington to London, where at first, he's just sitting there on his own, not doing anything, till a nice family called the Browns find him and take him in. I mean, at first, they're not going to adopt him straight away. At first, they were going to take him to the authorities. Then they were going to find out about the explorer, and then, Anyway, and there's, a scene throughout the movie where Mr. Brown, Henry, he's all like, I don't trust this bear. What do you expect? What do you expect? He'll probably just, when you fall asleep, he's probably gonna maul you guys in your sleep. I think I just gave him an idea. I'm kidding. Hey, Paddington, why are you looking at me like that, man? It was a joke. It was just a joke. I do this sometimes. Boy, it's very hot. I'm not just talking about the heat, man. It's very hot in here. I feel so flushed and uncomfortable, man. I'm sorry. Just stop looking at me like that.
It's called a hard stare. My aunt taught me to do them when people had forgotten their manners.
Okay. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. It was a joke. Alright? Sorry. It won't happen again. Whatever. He doesn't trust Paddington, but later in the movie, he does. And the villain of this movie, which is the explorer's daughter, her plan was to complete what her father never did, collect a specimen from Paddington or one of his families, really, you know? She was going to stuff Paddington. But luckily, thanks to the power of each of the things what the family has to do in order to get Paddington back is something of their character and what they want to do. For example, Mary, she wanted to look through the sewers, and then she found her hero, which was her husband. And as for Judy, she got to use her translated skills to use, because apparently she speaks bear. And Jonathan got to use his play sets to his advantage, because he had like an old-time science kit set that had like very lethal stuff in it. Seriously, I can't believe his dad gave him that stuff. I mean, that stuff and he's like Mr. Prevents accidents from happening. And Henry, he finally got some courage and then decided to save Paddington. And then through the power of character development, they accept Paddington as one of their own, and the villain is saved, and she's sent to community service as a petting zoo. An ironic punishment, dramatic irony. Anyway, that was Paddington 1. I liked it. I really, really liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty good. And all in all, it was pretty nice. And a few years later, we get a sequel, Paddington 2. In my opinion, the best one in the whole franchise. And there's even saying there's going to be a Paddington 3. Can't wait, actually. This one's actually pretty good. Well, the majority of the movie does show Paddington his time in prison. Oops. Sorry. Shows the rest of the time in prison, What happened was, he finds an old popping book because his Aunt Lucy is turning 100, and she, and it's not every day that a bear turns 100, so he decides, but since the book costs a lot of money, he has to get a job. He tried becoming a hairdresser's assistant. That didn't work out, but he tried to become a window cleaner, but then someone stole the book and then framed him. It was because he was a bear, isn't it? Whatever. He ends up in prison and ends up quickly befriending all the prisoners, even though weren't they in there for basically reasons why you didn't be, why they ended up in there. The reason they ended up in there is the reason why any person would end up in prison. Yeah, in other words, he has to spend a 10-year slump, but probably with murderers and rapists. Well, technically, the only one who tried to murder him was Knuckles, but when he got a taste of marmalade, it was he turned his tune. That and Paddington gave him a hard stare after he was dissed in Aunt Lucy, Whatever. The point is, he befriends everyone, and honestly, they kind of make prison really, really cool. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone would want to break the law just to end up in that prison. I bet that's what prison looks like in heaven. And they make the place so cool. They make the cafeteria look like some fancy diner. They have a freaking chocolate fountain. And then everyone's, skipping ropes and playing hopscotch and doing a gardening thing. I wouldn't be surprised if a person would break the law just to be in this place. This place looks pretty good. Anyway, and then like the last movie, the climax takes place where all the characters gets to do their thing of what they did this through their movie. For example, Jonathan, throughout the movie, he goes through a different identity. He's called J-Dog, and he doesn't like steam trains because they're not cool because he's in high school now. And Judy, she gets she becomes a photographer making news, she found an old printer at school and she's trying to make news, you know what I mean? And Henry, he used his whole throwing coconuts as his thing. Apparently back in the day, he used to be called Coconut Throwing Henry or something. I don't know, some cool nickname, I suppose. And Mary, she uses her swimming skills to save Paddington. And they managed to stop villain. And this villain, honestly, his name is Phoenix Buchanan. Well, he's not his name in real life, but the villain in this one is absolutely pretty funny. I like this guy. He used to be a famous actor, or used to be. Now he just does dog food commercials. And he's actually pretty funny. He's all zany, he's all wacky. He has like freaking mannequins in his attic, and he talks to them like they're real people. This guy's insane, but at the same time pretty cool. He wants the popping book because Madame Koslifer, the person who made it, that she had like a secret fortune hidden in it, and he's planning to get it so he can become rich again. All I'm saying is, it's pretty crazy. And the end of this movie, oh dear God, the end of this movie. Where do I... Paddington.
Happy birthday, Aunt Lucy.
And that, in my opinion, that is how you end a movie. Like, straight up, this movie was awesome. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Watch the first one, go watch the second one. On the Paddington series is awesome. Go check these movies out. These movies are really good, and I can't wait for Paddington 3. This review shout out goes to, you guessed it, a YouTube channel focusing on Paddington. The Paddington YouTube channel, where you can watch clips and scenes from his TV show, and from his movies, and basically Paddington related stuff. This is the F-Man Critic telling you to like, subscribe, hit notification, and of our memory of our beloved Queen Elizabeth II. See ya.